What's going on, guys? It's your boy Crazy Spartan here, and as always, before I get started off with the video, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that you guys been offering on the channel. If you guys didn't watch my last video where I ranked the top 10 point guards in the 2020-2021 season, go on ahead and go check out that one. But regardless of that, we're going to be doing the top 10 shooting guards, okay? Klay Thompson unfortunately did not make this list because he's injured. He probably would have been maybe a top 3 shooting guard. Maybe even I would have put him at number 2 on this list. Bogdanovich didn't quite make the list, as well as a couple of others. So we're going to go on ahead and start with number 10 being Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is probably... I would have to put him as the best defender on this list, along with the number 2 guy at this list, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But Marcus Smart has shown that he can be a very, very good defender, you know, and he can also score, you know what I'm saying? He averages around, I believe it's 10 to, 12 points on his career, 15 points maybe, but he's shown that he can score 20 on any given night. He, has shown that he can shoot the 3 ball, and, he's a capable 20-point per game scorer. Like, he can go out there and do it, but most of his work comes on the defensive end. So that's why I have Marcus Smart at the number 10 spot. Moving on to number 9, Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine has shown that he is a tremendous scorer, alright? I don't have his stats pulled up right now, but I believe he's averaging like something crazy like 31 points per game on the season right now. They did get Jim Boylan out of there as their coach, and now, he's starting to flourish now. The 2-time slam dunk champion is starting to flourish, and he's starting to show that he can take over that Bulls offense, and he's done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. He's doing better than he was last season, I want to say. So Zach LaVine, has shown that he can be that scorer, and he's playing defense a little better too. So that's why I put him in at that number 9 spot. I'm going to try and make this video shorter than I did the last one, because that one was like 20 minutes long, and I'm not sure you guys want to hear that. So, moving on to number 8, CJ McCollum. He plays alongside Damian Lillard in Portland, and a lot of people are saying that they need to break up that group now because they've shown that they can't win with just them two, but I don't know, man. I mean, loyalty in today's game is just like an intangible. Some people have it, some people don't. But those two, they play well together. Honestly, coming into this season, I would say they're probably the best backcourt together, honestly. No disrespect to Westbrook and Beal, but listen, that backcourt, CJ and Dame, they're extremely deadly. So I have CJ at number 8. Moving on to number 7, Victor Oladipo. He missed a big chunk of last season due to the injury he had, and now that he's on the Rockets, I don't think he'll have an extremely breakout season. He may still end up averaging 20 points per game. Victor Oladipo has shown that he can be an extremely good scorer. He's not the best defender, but he's an okay defender. But he wants to go to Miami to play alongside Jimmy Butler. I wish they would just make that trade happen. I mean, yeah, you would have to give up a ton of stuff just to get Victor Oladipo, but I feel like that would take off a lot of the scoring load on Jimmy Butler, and help guys like, maybe if they keep Tyler Hero, maybe, that can help them out. But I don't know what they would have to give up to obtain Victor Oladipo, but I feel like Victor Oladipo deserves that number 7 spot. Moving on to the number 6 spot, I have Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is one of those kinds of players that I can see making multiple All-Star games in his career. He's an extremely good scorer. He's a pretty good defender, and he's Jason Tatum's sidekick. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has shown that he can, you know, shoot the lights out, and he played a big part in Boston almost making it to the 2018 NBA Finals if it wouldn't have been for one man in LeBron James. Trust me, if LeBron would have not been on Cleveland, the Celtics would have made it to the Finals in 2018 to face off against the Warriors. I'm just saying. But he comes in at that number 6 spot. Now, moving into my top 5, I have Donovan Mitchell at the number 5 spot. Donovan Mitchell, his lack of playoff success, if you will, kind of may have some people to slide him down on this list, but not me. I think he's an extremely good scorer, and he doesn't have to be extremely good on defense because he's got one of the best defenders in the league in Rudy Gobert helping him. You know what I'm saying? So, all Donovan Mitchell has to do is put the ball in the basket, and in the bubble just this past season, Donovan Mitchell and, Jamal Murray, they were going at it against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were giving each other buckets, man. Donovan Mitchell will have 54 and Murray will have 57, like 40 points per game. Like, they were just scoring, and that shows you that Donovan Mitchell's scoring ability is unlike any other. Especially at a player his height. He's only 6'3", and he's one of the better scoring shooting guards in the league right now. So Donovan Mitchell comes in at my number 5 spot. Moving on to number 4, we have another guy who hasn't had a lot of playoff success being in Phoenix. That's Devin Booker. Devin Booker has the intangibles that Kobe had. I'm not going to sit there and say he's going to be a better scorer than Kobe, but he takes a lot of his mentality from Kobe. And, I believe those two trained quite a few times. And Devin Booker, I don't know if you guys remember when he dropped 70, but, had a lot of those shots going in. He could have beat Kobe's 81 record, but Devin Booker is one of those players that now that he has Chris Paul alongside him to help with the playmaking on the team as well as the scoring, and he has a good big man in DeAndre Ayton with several other key pieces on that team, like Cameron Johnson and everyone else on that team. They can make a good push for the playoffs this year. I think they'll be there. I think they'll be there this season, and Devin Booker comes in at that number 4 spot. Moving on to another guy who hasn't had a lot of playoff success, being out there in Washington, that's Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a top 3 shooting guard in the league, in my opinion. Bradley Beal was the only player, I believe, in NBA history to score 30 points plus per game, or 30 plus points per game, and not make an all-star game or an all-NBA team, which just goes to show you that the team that you play on is a big part in you either getting a certain nod or not. You know what I'm saying? And had he been on a team like Denver or Portland or any other team that was better in the playoffs and in terms of a better record, he would have made an all-NBA team. I'm just saying, because there's no reason that he shouldn't have made an all-NBA team with those statistics that he put up last season. He literally carried the Washington Wizards last season, and now that Westbrook is there, a lot of people are questioning the fit between him and Westbrook. A lot of people are saying that Scott Brooks is on the hot seat already with the team playing like they are, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Bradley Beal and Westbrook playing together. But I have him at my number 3 spot. Moving on to my number 2 spot, I have Jimmy Butler. A lot of people would classify him as being a 3, a small forward, but he's played a majority of his career at the shooting guard spot. But regardless of that, Jimmy Butler, a lot of people questioned his leadership when he was at Minnesota, when he was playing for the Timberwolves. Simply because he took the third stringers and he beat the starters or something like that. That team was just, they Jimmy Butler shouldn't have even been there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it kind of looked good on paper with him and Karl Anthony Towns, because Karl Anthony Towns is a top 5, power forward or center in the league, and Jimmy Butler is one of the better two-way players in the league. You'd think that that would lead to wins, but no, it really didn't. It just made that team cancerous in the locker room, if you will. But a lot of people had questions with Jimmy Butler going to Miami, saying like, oh, he's going to be a locker room cancer and everything like that. But it turned out to be the opposite. He led that team to a NBA Finals appearance and put up a fight, 6 games against a, eventual champion Los Angeles Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Had Jimmy Butler had a second or even a third scorer on that team, they would have pushed the Heat, or they would have pushed the Lakers to 7 games. And who's to say that Miami wouldn't have won the championship? Who knows? But regardless of that, Jimmy Butler is in at my number 2 spot. And you already know the number 1 spot, Mr. I can go to the strip club and get fat all day and get traded to the Nets, James Harden, okay? But despite all that, James Harden is one of the best scorers to ever grace the NBA court. Regardless of what you may say about James Harden, his scoring ability is by far one of the best we've ever seen in the league. When you think about the best scorers in NBA history, you think about Jordan, you think about Kobe, you think about Mr. Kevin Durant, who will be on my top 10 small forwards list here coming up in a little bit. But you think about players like that, and James Harden's scoring ability is just, it's absolutely absurd. You know what I'm saying? He won the MVP in 2018, and he's really changed the culture of, the Euro step and the double step back, and just being a scorer in general. James Harden has changed that culture. He's not a really good defender per se. Some people would question his leadership abilities, like I said, he has won an MVP. He's got a 6th Man of the Year award when he was with the Thunder, and now that he's with his longtime buddy Kevin Durant, the Nets are going to look dangerous this year, and James Harden is going to be a big part of that. So he's the number 1 shooting guard, in my opinion, of the 2020-2021 season. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this one's a little shorter. If you guys are ready to see the small forwards episode, y'all drop a like on this video. And yeah, man, new year, hopefully I can put some new content on the channel for you guys. We got Hitman coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna try my best to pick it up. We'll see what happens. But y'all go check out the links in the description box, as well as the featured channels section on the channel. Got a lot of good channels there. But other than that, hopefully y'all enjoy the video. But y'all stay motivated, stay dedicated, always have that Mamba mentality, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace out.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.